Hello guys, today's video we're gonna teach you how to use the item number 95072 to make a long tail setup. Okay, so again, the long tail setup, it is basically you're gonna extend a little bit longer on the brake system on the back. So this is standard size of the tail, which is this one right here. As you notice, so with long tail setup, basically you're gonna be extended a bit more on the rear brake, which is right here. So such as this is a good example. So as you can see, I extend two popsicle, which is right here, to make the brake a little bit like to the back. So in this case, my whole brake system, it is 165 millimeter long, which is, you can see when I put my sitting board right here, you can see my rear brake to the front brake, it is about 165, which is I'm using the maximum length of the car. Okay, because long tail setup is pretty good because it's really stable and it's really you're gonna have a lot of speed on the jump. Okay, especially it's really stable. Okay, moving to the next, still gonna talk about it. For the long tail setup, actually everybody can see right here, it's really complicated because you have to getting a pieces like this one right here, the regular tail, and they have to cut a part of it, and they can using different 1.5 millimeter popsicle to extend out a little bit, makes it a little bit longer. So this is gonna be a lot of like a cutting and a lot of modification, especially you can see how complicated it is. So you can see I have a lot of screw mounting right here, and in this case I can extend out. Same as this one right here. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screw right here. So in this case, can this extend this piece a little bit out? Same thing as here. So here is more complicated. Actually, it has 6 screw right here. Okay. Okay. So is there any way to make this long tail setup a little bit simple? Yes, there it is. Remember I used to make a video. Check my YouTube channel. There's a video called the Super 2 Basic Foundation Setup number. I think it's number 3 or number 2. And there's a setting I introduce people to using this little thing right here. As you can see, it's really simple. With one of the package, item number 15372, the FRP support plate set. So with this item right here, without using any support, any very complicated modification, you can simply extend the brake to same size as the complicated modification, as you can see right here. So my brake actually is same as the the complicated setup one. So you will notice this pieces actually is perfectly fit to the all type of long tail setup, such as this one right here. You can see they have exactly same dimension. Okay, same as this one right here. So with one simple piece of this, you can save all the complicated setting like this, and it also make a car a little bit lighter and it makes it a little bit easy to set up. Okay, but the next question it is, because this is FRP and it's really fragile and it's really not really too strong and it's a little bit heavier. So people might ask, is there any way you can using a carbon fiber? Unfortunately, they don't making a carbon fiber piece of this one, but there's a alternative plan for that, and you can using the carbon fiber to make such pieces like this one right here. So the item number 95072, this is the replacement for that little pieces right here. So actually I made one already, like this one right here. So you can see basically I'm cutting this one in half and the mounting right here. Okay, so you can see it's lighter and stronger. Okay, it's very durable. So for the next 20 minutes, I'm gonna teach you how to modify these pieces to become like this. So we're gonna teach you how to mounting this piece right here to making the setup. Okay. First, to do the modification like this, so the tool we need, it is files and a Tamiya gauge and a screwdriver set and a 2 millimeter hand drill, and also the Dremel, which is right here. And make sure you have one polish bit like this one right here and one cutting bit. Okay, and then knot driver. Okay, razor blade or either knife, anything you can cutting stuff. Okay, and digital caliper, if you have it, if you don't have it, it's fine. Okay, and some screws and a nut and a washer. Okay, and for the parts we need, it is the item number 95072. Okay, and also need a set of the item number 15372, the FRP support plate. This is we're gonna using as chasing the shape. Okay, the rest of them, oh, this is optional, but you better have this one right here, the item number 15193, or either item number 15495, the 1.5 millimeter popsicle. If you don't have this one, you can using the 2 millimeter popsicle, which is right here. Make sure you need two of this. Okay, everything you need two of this. And for this, the item number 15243 and item number 15430. This is just optional. I'm gonna explain this one later because this is for another setting. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First, we're gonna cut the item number 95072 to become 2 halves. And we're gonna using the Dremel plus a cutter and cutting this one 2 halves. Okay. So okay, it's gonna be looks like this. And the next, make sure you're gonna using this side, the side is no logo. Okay, and the face together and then double it. Then we're gonna using a screw right here. So we're gonna take one of the item number 15372, which is this piece right here, and apply to right here too. What are we gonna do? We're gonna using a little bit longer screw, like 8 millimeter or either 10 millimeter screw, and we're gonna using the mounting point, which is 13 right here. Okay, put it right here. Gonna go make sure it's going to the mounting point 13, not mounting point 9. And then you can see on these pieces, this side is shorter, this side longer. So the shorter pieces gonna be attached. The mounting point gonna be attached to the hole 13. Okay, right here. Then we're gonna get a nut. Okay, to lock it. So it's gonna be looks like this. Let me give a better angle. You can see the detail. Okay. Just make sure it's on number 13, which is right here, and this thing is gonna be connected right here. And then next, what are we gonna do? We're gonna try to line this thing up. Make sure this right here, the mounting point right here, is gonna be the center of the these two plate right here. So okay, this one right here. So when you put on it, probably gonna be like this, but you have to move to the right position. So the best man recommend for you, just make sure this hole right here is on the center of these little pieces. Okay, before you moving to next, and make sure everything lines up, especially these two carbon fiber pieces. Okay, basically you are trying to copy these pieces to these pieces right here. Okay, so make sure everything lines up right here, especially right here. Make sure the edges lines up all the way, and the same thing as right here. Make sure everything lines up. Okay. Okay, remember I told you the digital caliper is optional. So right now we're gonna using digital caliper right here to check the dimension of right here. So it shows me 6.5 millimeter. So which means, and half and half is gonna be 3.25 millimeters. So I'm just have to make sure, if you want to make sure this thing is in the center, so just make sure you can using digital caliper to make sure everything's right, and you can put right here. Just make sure it's 3.25. Move up a little bit. Looks like a little bit off. Okay. So it's each side is 3.25. So let's move into the next. So next we're gonna using a hand drill. Okay. To drill the hole. Okay. So make it go to the other side. And there's an option for this. If you have nothing, you must have at least one hand drill. Just slowly to make the hole. Okay, and have another option. So if you want to be more professional, you can using this machine right here, the Dremel press. Okay, so because this one you can simply set the pieces right here, and it can very vertically to giving a nice the hole right here. So it really depends what you have in your hand. You also can using more professional one like this one is the micro milling machine, or either this one right here, the another type of Dremel press. Okay, so it's really depends what you have in your hand. If you have nothing, again you can using a hand drill. Okay, so today I'm just gonna go ahead using a hand drill to show it, but you have to make sure when you're using hand drill, you have to slowly be very patient, just in case you don't mess up. So you have to make sure two pieces have exactly same dimension of mounting. So make sure everything lines up. So in this case, nothing gonna get a crooked. Okay, so just gonna go ahead and put this one right here using my hand to make the hole. Okay. Okay, just finish right here. Okay, so you can see both of them has the mounting point, which is located right here. Okay, so after that, using a knife or either razor blades, and try to remove some of the scrap on the around the mounting point. Okay, so next we're gonna just take a look at it, make sure everything it is on the right position. Okay, so it looks like everything's okay. Okay, next we're gonna still put it back again, and using this piece, and this time we're gonna connect here and here. Okay, so we're still gonna use 10mm screw from the mounting point we just made, from the other mounting point we just made right here, and connect to the top one right here, and the same thing as here. So we're gonna connect right here from the hole number 13 right here. Okay, then next we're gonna lock again. So make sure double check everything lines up again. So because sometimes you can see right here, so let me give a better angle. You can see sometimes you can see here's a little bit like off. So in this case you can put on table, just make sure this can be back to the everything can lines up. There's no gap, nothing, no offset. Okay, like this is right now is perfect. So we just have to make sure everything lines up, because this is very important, because you're copy each other on this little carbon pieces right here. So you have to make sure everything is like lines up. Otherwise, if you cook it a little bit, the mounting point you're gonna make on the other side are gonna be off on the other side. Okay, so this is why it's very important to take your time and be patient. Okay, on the modification, it is really time consuming, but you know it's this is a part of a hobby. It's really making you like enjoy about it. Okay, next we're gonna make another mounting point, which is located right here. You can see on the original FRP there's 1 and 2 mounting point right here. So we're gonna make another mounting point, which is on the number 1 right here. This is the mounting point. Make sure do not make any hole right here on the number 2. Just make sure mounting right here. Okay, so we're gonna using hand drill again. Slowly be patient to make the mounting point right here. So this is gonna be our roller stay mounting point, which is right here. So you can see this is the pieces I just made by myself. Okay, so you can see on the original pieces there's no any mounting point right here. That's why we have to using these pieces right here as a chasing the shape. So this is the mounting point we're gonna using to mount our roller. So we're gonna make another hole right here, so you can see this is how I mount my roller stay right here. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and do the same thing, slowly using a hand drill to make the mounting point. So okay, here we go. We just got another mounting point right here. It's being finished. So let me give a better angle. So you can see we already have this one right here, and then this one right here, and this mounting point right here. So this is all we need for the basic setup. Okay, so okay, here we go. Here's the pieces looks like. Okay, so we got a mounting point right here. This is for our roller stay, and this is for our brake, which right here. And for the piece for the mounting point gonna be attached to the chassis, it is the number 13 right here. you're not gonna using number 9, because number 9 it is kind of if you put this one right here, you're gonna know if you're using number 9 right there, it's gonna be really hard for you to do the setting. So I'm highly recommend using number 13. I mean, number 9 actually it is fine, but you know, my personal like to using number 13. Okay, so it's really up to you. So again, this is just give you a basic like a general setup. So if you want to do a more modification on this one, it's really up to you. You can making more mounting point too for different purposes. Even you want to make this little brake setting, the mounting point right here, a little bit like right here, it's fine. It really depends how many dimensions you have on your chassis. So we're using this one just to teach you people the basic modification that you can do. Okay, for more advanced, it really depends on your setup. Okay, so again, you also can using the mounting point number 9, which is right here. So it also works out well. So you can see it works out well. The only thing you have to do is just making different mounting point on different position. So okay, let's move into the next. Moving to the next, what are we gonna do? It is we're going to set this up. Okay, for setting this up, I'm highly recommend you using a 2mm popsicle or either 1.5mm carbon fiber popsicle, which is right here. If you don't have nothing, you can use this one right here, the FRP one, but I highly recommend using the the carbon fiber version. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the 2mm. Okay, so we're gonna use the same thing, the screw set right here, put it right here, and everybody know this 2 mounting point right here, this is the brake. So we're gonna put this one right here and make sure the screw head have to be go this way. Okay, have to go right here. And the reason I'm gonna say like this, I'm gonna talk about later. So we're just gonna just go ahead and put like the way I put. Okay, do not make any of your changes, because it's gonna be next we're gonna do the calibration, okay, on the setup. Okay, it's gonna be looks like this. So we'll notice this is almost gonna be the same setup like this one right here, so you can see. Okay, so moving to the next, it's gonna be really very easy to get a twist. So it's really hard for you to figure out what's the right position of this setup right here. So I'm gonna give you easiest way how to caliper this setting right here. The easiest way to do it is we're gonna using another 2mm carbon fiber right here. Okay, so here's the brake. So we're gonna do another pieces right here. Okay, and we're gonna get a same type of screw, which is the 10mm one. Okay, and remember the mounting point which is made right here, this is for our roller stay. So this is our roller stay right here. So we're gonna do the same thing, the screw head face up like this, and gonna put like this, and then get some nut and lock it. Okay, even you putting 2 popsicle over there, still like it's stretchable. Even you put another one, I'm pretty sure it's still gonna be stretchable. So next, what are we gonna do? Gonna using this Tamiya gauge. Remember right here, Tamiya gauge right here, this is very 180 degree like level right here. So we're gonna using this one as our caliper. We're gonna using these little edges right here to contact right here to make sure it's getting vertical. And then we're gonna see, you can see it's not touching right here because this one's over this side too much. So we're gonna go ahead and stretch back. Okay, so in this case, make sure that both 2 screw is against the side right here, the wall right here, so you can see like this. So in this way, we know this is the right position. Okay, same the other side, double check again. I'm pretty sure it's around the right position. See that? So this is how you adjust and caliper your setting right here, because this thing is, so before you lock it, it's really stretchable. That's why you have to make sure it's on the right position, then we lock it and set up on the chassis. So right here, so everything's on the right position, like this one right here. Then next, we're gonna go ahead using a knife. Okay, what are we gonna do? It's gonna be very important because we're gonna remove the extra pieces. Okay, so you can see these little pieces that stick out. This is extra pieces we have to remove. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna use a knife to simply mark right here. Okay, to cut a scratch, and also we're gonna cut another scratch right here. So this is give our double mark. Okay, same thing as here. We're gonna make another scratch. Okay, so it's gonna be looks like this. And then before you take off, cut again. Make sure it is fit to the setting right here. See, if you calibrate right, this setting gonna be same as the other setting. Okay, it's also gonna be same as the setting which is right here. So you can see this is a long tail setting. So you have a mounting right here. So as you can see, it's the same thing. Okay. Okay, so moving to next, we're gonna do remove the extra pieces which is we don't need. First thing we're gonna remove it is we already marked it right here. This is the extra pieces. The second thing we have removed it is this piece right here, the extra mounting point which you locate right here. So what are we gonna do? When you cut it, make sure you're only cutting a little bit right here. Okay, all this gonna be gone. And same thing here, we're gonna cut right here. Okay, all this gonna go. Make sure do not cutting too much too close to the number 13 which is right here. Okay, make sure you're just gonna be cutting right here. Try to keep as much as possible because you don't want to overcut it. Overcutting it, you're gonna cause this mounting point a little bit weak. Okay, so moving to the next, we're gonna go ahead and cut it. We're gonna go ahead using a Dremel and install a cutter. Okay, and go ahead and follow the line and remove it. So after finish cutting, just make sure. So just make sure the way I cutting, I always keep a little bit more. So in this case, I can using a files to finish the surface a little bit because you know if you're using a Dremel cutter to cutting the carbon fiber, sometimes the surface is a bit rough or either is not a really position. So that's why you have to using a small files to slowly fix it. Okay, it's right here. As you can see, two pieces just finished. Okay, so moving to the next, we're gonna do another cutting, which is right here. So go ahead, make sure the side no logo face each other. Okay, we're gonna use a screw to lock together. Okay. Okay, so make sure double check, make sure everything lines up. There's nothing like offset a little bit. Okay. Then next you're gonna using a large washer, which is this one right here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead the number 13 mounting point, which is right here. I'm gonna apply screw right here, and then on the other side a washer right here. Okay, and then using a nut to lock it. Okay, just make sure one thing, make sure the washer is in the center. Sometimes it's gonna be a little off like this, so this side a little bit less, this side a little more. So make sure you push back to the center, make sure it's make it close as possible. Okay, so just make sure this washer in the very center of the screw. Then you're gonna using a screwdriver to lock all the way. Okay, moving to next. First, we're gonna using the cutter to remove these pieces because the reason I put a washer right here, then I know where I should stop. Okay, okay, it's gonna be looks like this. Next, we're gonna go ahead and get another tip. It is the polish one. Okay, so gonna go ahead and using this polish one. So what next do is very important. We're gonna using this one to follow the washer to giving a round shape, which is right here. So let me go ahead and do it. Okay, just finish right here. As you can see, give it a little wrong shape right here, because with the other pieces right here, it's impossible gonna block the mounting point, which is right here. That's why we have to round up a little bit to make sure it can fit right here. Okay, so moving to the next, we're gonna go ahead, take this off, and set in this piece right here. So for setting this piece on top of the car, it is gonna be very, it's gonna be very variable, because it really depends what you're setting. Because like my setting, I'm using 25.5 millimeter wheel. That's why I'm putting a 6 millimeter spacer right here. Okay, then I'm putting these pieces right here, the extender, okay, right here, and to the brake, and the same thing on the bottom. We're gonna go ahead, put a underguard, which is located right here. So let me just go ahead and show you the one I already have the car. So first, before you set up, you have to do one thing. It is you have to do the caliper again. So you're going to put everything back first, like this. Like repeating the previous steps, okay? Okay, like this. And using Tamiya gauge again to caliper the whole thing, make sure everything's on the right position. So like this, lines up, make sure everything lines up. Okay, same thing right here, make sure it lines up. Okay, so it looks like it lines up. Okay, in this case, after you finish, take off the roller plate. Do not take the brake one, okay? Or you're only gonna take one piece off. Okay, make sure do not stretch anything, just keep like this. So okay, we're gonna try to apply this one on this chassis right here. So make sure before you put on it, make sure everything, if your modify is very precision, and it should be, see that everything should be fit the right point. Okay, so next we're gonna do it is you're gonna set up the underguard first. So underguard, it's gonna be very bottom pieces of this sitting right here. So because my sitting right here, the wheel, it is 25.5, so I'm gonna have one underguard right here, and also gonna apply another 2 millimeter carbon fiber right here to make the underguard a bit lower. So you also can using a spacer, which is you can put a spacer right here, the 3 millimeter spacer right here, or doesn't matter, it really depends on the setting right here, and to make the underguard a bit lower. So right here I'm just gonna go ahead using 2 millimeter the carbon fiber pieces right here to make it lower. Then next you're gonna apply this one right here. Okay, in the top we're gonna have a space, so I'm gonna use 6 millimeter aluminum spacer. You don't have to be exactly 6 millimeters. It really depends. Again, it really depends on your setup. So your wheel is a little bit bigger, you can using a little bit larger spacer or either aluminum spacer. It really depends on your setting. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back on. Okay, so it's gonna be looks like this. This is a long tail setup down right here. So for the roller stay, you have option. You have option to using the standard setting, like put another 2 millimeter roller stay on top of that. It's gonna be looks like this. Let me put on. Gonna show the different. Okay, it's gonna be looks like this. The only problem when you put in this one right here, you will notice the roller gonna be a little bit behind. So this is a very standard setting. So again, if you want a roller getting close to the rear wheel like this one right here, so let me turn over, you can see the difference. Okay, so right now if I'm mounting a roller on this one, my roller gonna be a little bit behind. So if you want a roller close to your wheel, and you have another option, either option using this little curved bar. This is from 3 millimeter carbon fiber. And another recommendation it is you can go ahead using 2 pieces of this, okay, double up, So as you can see, this one has also have a little bit curved design. So when you're mounting these pieces right here, the roller gonna be a little bit close to the wheel. So let me open this package up to show you the difference. Okay, so you can see these pieces come with a 19mm rollers right here. Okay, so when putting this piece right here, so these pieces give you a curve to bring up the roller a little bit to the front wheel. Instead of the older pieces, the roller is right here, and this one actually is bring to the front a little bit right here. Okay, so you can see the difference, the two mounting point. This one a little bit behind the top one, this curved one gonna be a little bit against the, it's gonna be a little bit toward the rear wheel. Okay, so you also, if you want to make another hole which is lines up with the 19mm right here, you can go ahead and do that to bring it more close to the rear wheel, or either like the setting I have right here. I'm not sure if people notice, I have another mounting point which is made right here. So in this, so if you make another mounting point which is a little bit like a right here, so you can see I have another extra mounting point I made right here. It can bring this pieces a little bit close to the rear wheel. It really depends on your settings. So so there's a lot of way you can make a different mounting point on this one right here, but just make sure, take your time, because it's not really too easy to make another hole, because this thing, it is have a little bit curved design. I mean, this extension have a little bit curved design, so it's really hard to line up, see which is the mounting point you should make. Okay, so so next, so if you want to make an extra mounting point, these two options, it is your choice. Okay, so I'm gonna show you right now how to make the extra mounting point. So first we're gonna take this piece off. Okay, it's gonna be looks like this. Make sure everything it is not stretch or the twist. So okay, it's have to be right on the right position. Okay, so next we're gonna using this item. I highly recommend using this item number 15243. So we're gonna using this one as our dimension on the extra mounting point we're gonna make. So we're gonna simply attach this one on the top of the roller stay mounting point, and then you can see there's two little hole right here. It's gonna go ahead using hand drill to drill the hole like this. Okay, so in this case you can make another mounting point to bring these pieces a bit closer to the rear wheel, such as like this one right here. See the mounting point right here. Okay, these are two extra mounting point I make. This is how I made my extra mounting point, like this. Okay, so it's gonna be looks like this. And the next, so for the damper setup on these pieces, so it's already have a two mounting point which is located right here and here. So you're gonna simply apply a screw right here and lock it, then put a damper right here like this. So this is gonna be your rear damper. So if you want this damper a little bit behind, so you can make another mounting point which is right here, and it can bring this one a little bit right here. So it really depends on your setting. So in these pieces right here, it's really very I would say it's very adaptable, because there's a lot of mounting point you can make by your own, and it's very easy to getting set up. Unlike this is complicated and extension right here, you know, there's so many screws right here, you can try to extend it out a little bit, you know. So this is the easiest way. Okay, I think it's very durable, because the carbon fiber really strong, and it's very light, and then also it's very it's really simple. Okay, because you only need these two little pieces. You can have the roller stay mounting on top of that, and a brake right here. So it's only 4 pieces, 1 2 3 4. Actually, instead of this complicated pieces, it is have like a 2 extension brake, and this one right here, and have another sitting right here. It's really complicated. Okay, here's the sample, so you can using that as the general setting. And by the way, this setting fit to VS, Super 2, and TZX, MA, MS, basically cover all type of chassis. Okay. So here's today's video. If you have any questions, just go ahead and leave a comment.